Welcome to another DIY video, guys. I'm Ashton Time for a Breather, and in this week's video, I'm showing you how to take a super inexpensive corset and make it feminine, pretty, and luxurious, all on the cheap, so let's get into it. First up, guys, we need some inspo for this project. Now, I went onto my Pinterest and pulled some images of corsets I thought were super pretty, just with the bows, the jewels, the frills, everything girly. For supplies, we're gonna need a corset, of course. Now, this one was $20 off of Amazon. For the rest of the supplies, including fake rhinestones, trim, flowers, everything totaled about $15 for what we used. First up, we're gonna have to unlace here so we have a flat surface. Then I wanted to actually bejewel the entire cup area of this corset. So I just took a seamstress tape measure with some fabric chalk, marked out on both sides the area I actually wanted to fill with those jewels. And then of course I just added some fabric glue, worked in very small sections just to make sure the glue had no time to dry before I could actually place the jewel down. And then of course just working each side, making sure the pattern is even on each side. This took a total of about 2 hours for this bedazzling of the cup, but honestly I really do think it was worth it. I mean, they look so pretty in the end with all the sparkle. I did want to add to the bottom as well, just to give as much sparkle to this as possible and to even out the actual bodice. And then I wanted to add more sparkle with this metal trim with rhinestone, and it was actually metal, so I had to use wire cutters to actually cut it to size, but I just glued it to the actual bone area of the corset. I thought it had more of a chance of sticking on because the bones obviously are far more immobile than the rest of the corset, and it was an easy way to add like a lot of sparkle. And then I wanted to add this super pretty flower lace detail trim. Just use the same fabric glue on the end just to add that little bit of frilliness, but it was so incredibly pretty. And then I wanted to add more jewels, just some bigger jewels to that top area, the end area of that rhinestone rope. Then I thought it was done, so I just laced it up. Now, I left this to cure for a few days, and as I was passing by it, I'm like, you know what? This is fine, but it's just too simplistic. I wanted more glitter, more sparkle, more femme, more something on this corset. So I'm like, no big deal. Let me just pick it up and add some. And guys, do you see what happened here to this corset when I picked it up? No? Let me zoom you in. That is all of the area where those rhinestones did not stick. I picked it up and they were popping off left and right. This glue did not hold at all. I was so mad. Like I said, it took so long to do this. This right here is the culprit. Do not use this glue. This is most certainly not a fabric glue, because the reasons the rhinestone did not stick is because this glue was not flexible at all. The rhinestones just essentially peeled off of it. Now the pearls did stick, but none of the rhinestones. And I'm like, ugh. I already had this corset. Let me try and resurrect this. So first up, I needed to peel off everything that was there so I had like a more clean surface to work with. I was left with all of this glue residue on the cup area, and I'm like, what can I use to cover this up? Now I had these really pretty rosettes, and the good thing about these is that they were actually large, so I only had to glue down a few to cover up the mistake. And of course I'm using the goat of all glues, E6000, just spreading that directly on top of all of that glue residue, making sure to fill in every nook and cranny, spreading it around with my metal spatula just to make sure everything is even. And then I started just placing on those rosettes. Now I did pre-plan where the rosette placement was, just so you know. I didn't just go in all willy-nilly, but I just wanted to make sure I had enough on each side. And then doing the exact same thing on the opposite side. And then I wanted to add just a few to the bottom as well, just really zhuzh it out. And I wanted to add some more sparkle back in, so I just used some E6000 to glue on some larger rhinestones to the front bone area. And then I just added some more rosettes to the back there once the front was dry, put some weights down, and then I was done. Guys, look at how gorgeous gorgeous this turned out. It is so friggin' pretty, so sparkly, so lovely. I feel like a queen in this, an absolute stunner. I feel so good in this. I kind of like the whole flower theme here, so honestly, looking back, it's good that there aren't just jewels here because like the voluminousness of the flowers are actually giving me a chest, or at least like some illusion of a chest, because y'all know I do not have boobs out here in this channel. Just all the cute little dainty details and then all of the sparkle on this. I just feel like a shining star, a million bajillion dollars. So in theory, if I had just did the corset this way the first time, this would have taken me maybe an hour to do of gluing stuff down, and that's it. I mean, that is so amazing. This whole thing was only like $35. $35 for a beautiful and custom corset is like nothing these days, right? And I didn't have to sew anything. That is the one thing, because I know how to sew. It's just, I do realize it takes a lot longer, and people also don't have all the tools for that. It requires a lot of like capital up front for just going on like Amazon, getting a corset, some jewels, some flowers, some trim, and some glue, and an hour of my time, and this is the result I get. If you think DIYing costs you like an arm and a leg and like many hours and lots of energy in order to do, this video proves you wrong, because this is such a beautiful corset and I feel so gorgeous in it. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. If you want to see another one of my videos, then just click over here and I'll catch you next time. Bye.